Good afternoon. This is FIDA Senior Trainer and International Master Sekhar Sahu welcomes you on behalf of Sports Authority of Gujarat and Gujarat State Chess Session to this intermediate training session. So I will continue with the topic initiative. Initiative in endgame. First, let us have a look at some elementary basic chess endgame positions. Now, in the given position, white, even though two pawn down, his king is aggressively placed and he can win by creating a zigzag. Hello, Kamakshi Vastu, Subankar. So the zugzwang comes because black pawns are paralyzed on the both sides. There is no pawn move. Now rook check and a cool rook c1. Suddenly there is no move. There is only one move that rook into rook he can do. Rook into rook, king into. Now zugzwang. No king move, no good pawn. He has to play legal move, only move. h5. Then white is a tempo ahead and queen sweep checkmate. Tempo, only move, checkmate. So this sort of thing. Morning I discussed one position where he blocked with his bishop. So this is a theme. Please no keep in mind. This is a basic position. Let us have look at some more basic positions. White has a pass pawn. Black has a pass pawn. Now, if you keep giving checks, you will run out of checks. For example, rook a8 check king d7, another check king c6, another check king b5, and after that, black is queening. So how should white play now? How should white play? Hello, Malini Giridhar. Hello, I mean Ramakrishna. It is hello Ramakrishna. Let us have do some basic endgame positions. Then I will take you to the actual theme of initiative. Now, not King E6, not King E6. King E6 is wrong. After King E6, Black wins. He will queen the pawn. Pawn queen, rook into, and the endgame is winning for Black. But but you can choke him, creating a zugzwang. Now, rook to G1. This is the correct winning move. Only move. No. No, G7 is losing. G7 he will queen. Just queen. And rook check is there. So it is lost. So G7 is bad. And even King E6 is also losing. Rook 8 check is there. Okay. So here, maybe this should not last long. Last long because rook into rook will win. And on pawn push, queen. So this is not correct. The only correct move is rook g1. Rook g1. Suddenly, black is helpless. White wants to threaten the pawn, and after rook into rook, white queens first and winning. Zugzwang. So these are some elementary things, but we need to find with terrific speed during a game. We should see it in flash of a second. Then only we can steer a game into easily winning position. And we will not reach the diagram. We have to think of such diagrams in the simplification process of a middle game. There is a transition period. Opening to middle game. Middle game to end game. So there are two transition periods. Opening stage, then transition, that is the more difficult phase. Most difficult phase is transition from opening to middle game. Because many possibilities remains. Many plans are there. And a wrong decision can be lethal. I mean, it can be very serious in handling. So you have to make proper planning, transition period. There are the middle-aged grandmasters. I mean, those Russian grandmasters from 70s, and now of course there is a number of many grandmasters. So they are very good in the opening to middle game transition period. Middle game to end game, it has become much more. I mean, nowadays they have made it more scientific. So okay, so King E6 is not working. Yeah, King E6 is not working because rook into rook wins. And if you play pawn pulls is bad, pawn queens. So this is winning. Zugzwang after rook into pawn pulls and Knack is helpless. So we move forward to the next one. The position, these are simple questions, but you have to find it quickly. I mean, a player who is very active and calculates, he can find it in hardly 30 seconds, so 1 minute. I should not give more than 1 minute. You must solve it in 1 minute. Why to play and win? Wrong. Kamakshi Bastu, B7 is wrong. Not rook C7. Not even rook C7. Wrong. If you play rook C7 and then he can play rook H6. Rook H6 will come. Not correct. So you can see this check. You have to very quick in calculating checks. And that is one of the most important thing in middle game, in end game, in tactics and strategy. Everywhere. So rook check. There is no time for him to play rook H6 defense. Rook check. The only move. Pawn check. The only move. Bishop check. The only move. And a knight check at D7 or C6. Checkmate. Why this is wrong? Okay, I will tell you why B7 is wrong. B7, he will come here. Now knight D7 is not coming. Knight check, he comes. Now queen is not working. Rook into queen. You queen, rook into queen. And discover check, you will run away. You can maximum draw the game. No discover check. Discover check, you will have pawn into rook. Pawn into rook. There is no time for discovery. There is no double check. So this is wrong. Now double check is not working. Pawn into queen. So and queen is not working. Rook into queen. You should not give time. Suppose you play rook c7, you will pin the pawn. And knight is no more working. So rook check, correct move. Rook check, pawn check, bishop check, and checkmate. Ramakrishna says b7, kb8, rc8 also wins. Let me check. Let me check. Let me check. 7, kc8, rc8. Yeah, yeah, this is also winning. Because it will turn out the same variation. It will turn out the same variation. But yeah, yes. This is you have to see the combination. The same bishop check, knight check, knight. Okay, well done. Next, why to play and win? have to play and win. 3, 4 more positions quickly. Black is threatening mate in one. Black is threatening checkmate H1. See, this when there is a checkmate in one move, you have no choice but you have to give checks. There is only two checks available. You can give a C8 knight check or a discover check. That's all. Knight check is meaningless. Knight check is meaningless. So here knight double check is meaningless. So here knight C5 discover. Why? The cutting of the bishop. The bishop's range I am cutting off. Bishop is watching the F8 square, C8 square. So this check cuts off. And he cannot go down once a queen and mate. He can promote a rook or queen and mate. So only move. He can't do that. Only move. Check. Now only move. Knight check, pawn checkmate. Here knight check and pawn checkmate. Or alternately he will go king there. But this is also mate. Check, check, knight check. We need to perfect the art of checkmating with little material, mating patterns very fast. So there is no time. You don't give time to opponent. Quick. But knight f5 only. Here, only move you have to give knight f5. This is the only move. Cut off and discover check. Other discover check will not work. White to play and win. I saw this. I have seen. You have seen. White to play and win. How do you win as white? The topic is initiative, but I am showing some elementary endgames first. Another 3, 4. I will show you initiative in endgame, initiative in middle game. It is one of the most important topic. One of the most important topic in chess. Grabbing the initiative. And of course, this is not initiative. This is final fruit of the initiative. Now, how do we win here? Morning I did lot of examples on initiative in the end game. In the morning lecture. Today, now I will show some end games and some middle games also. Can somebody suggest me what should white do now? You have to figure out mating patterns. You need to figure out. Yes, right move, rook h8. Now there is a direct threat. He is threatening knight check and pawn checkmate. The threat is now knight check and then pawn checkmate. So the only move. Rook into rook is mate. After rook into rook, knight check and pawn checkmate. He cannot play rook into, that is mate into. Rook into is a mate into. So the only move. Check, only move. Check. Force him to come there. And a discover check. Now king a8 will mate into. If king a8, rook into rook mate and rook. So only move. King. But then check and win. Whole rook up. So you can't miss all these things. There are two or three more. Then I'll go to the main topic. This position is winning for white. I give you only have 1 minute. I give you only 1 minute. Come on, fast. Rath says RD7. No, no. Not rook d7. That is not correct. The reason I am giving you, you have to, in the game, you should have total focus and alert about possibilities of captures and checks. Captures and checks. Master that art. Your result will improve at least by 1 point in every tournament. You need to be perfect. Don't miss captures and check wins. That's that's the Suvankar right. Rook check, knight check, rook checkmate. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Checkmate. It is not equal. It is not equal. Mate, it is checkmate. Rook check, you have to take it. Knight check, only square. Rook checkmate. Yeah. No, rook d7 is not good move. No, no, no. What is your notation is wrong. Your notation is wrong. Rath, you have to improve your notation. Okay. Next. This position is white to play and win. How does white win? Okay, Ramakrishna, equal was my mistake. Okay, how does white win here? Rook h5, correct. The point is, back rank is weak, so white needs to buy some time. So rook h5, gains some time, breathing time. He cannot take with the rook arrangement. So he has to take with the bishop only. That gives time and checkmate. That gives time. The correct answer. I think we have finished these problems. We have got one. Now the practice. No, one more problem. One more problem. It is white to play and win. Betting pattern. You need to master the art of betting patterns. How many moves? It is one, two, then three, four, five movement. Bet in five. Bet in five. Checkmate in five moves. Come on. Checkmate in five moves. Hello, Vinod Parmar. Welcome. Knight f8. No, wrong. Not correct. Now rook check because it is forcing. Now the king cannot go down. Back rank bet. And king cannot go. Rook G is rook checkmate. So only move. Only move. Now rook check. Only move. Now is the critical moment. Many players will fumble here. Many players will fumble. The beauty is now rook checkmate. He will give rook check. Decoy the king. Decoy the king. Only now knight check. If he takes with the knight, then rook check and knight checkmate. If he takes rook check and knight f4, so he has to take with the bishop only. Bishop only. Anyway, this is mate. Pawn check and knight checkmate. So the king is dragged all the way into the territory of white. So that is the whole point is never miss a check. You have to very quickly calculate. I mean, after a player will reject, then he will say what to do now. Now what to do? Because this is attacked three times. This is attacked three times. And he is threatening rook check, knight check. But this lovely check. Lovely. Check. Check. Checkmate. This position, again a mating pattern. Once again, a mating pattern. Black is threatening mate. Black is threatening mate, which is you can't do anything about it. So you have to do something. And if it works in the last question, I don't think so. I don't think so. So you have to be quick in calculus. I don't think NF8 works. How it works here? So what now? Where is the mate? Now rook check, I will come back. Now if you give a rook check, there is no other check. If you give further knight check, I will come up. Now where? No, you give a knight check. Knight check. I will come king. Maybe I will come king. Where is the check? Discover check. There is no win. So no win. When I am showing forcing lines, there is no choice. Choice. He cannot go down. check. He cannot come here, check. No, no, rook check. Rook check and finishing that. NE6, ND7, and F6. Let's check your lines. Let's check. Knight F8. Where is that? Where is the bet? I don't think I don't think it is a mate. ND7. Now king. Now knight check, king. Where is the mate? Maybe, maybe I'm making some mistake here. Maybe here, not this move. I will go back to the old line again. Why I should help the knight to join? Not correct. So let's see. When I'm showing a forcing line, your line is not forcing. And F8, you are giving lot of choice. Okay, let's see the next position. Now, knight check. Ramakrishna's move is correct. Check. If he will come, then rook check and mate. Rook check, rook c7 mate. Rook check, king here, rook a7 check and mate. So the only move here is king. But then check, check, check. Supported only check and next movement. So we have completed the betting patterns. Now some practical game. Now let me give you. This is actual game from World Championship 1934. Alekhine never allowed Capablanca. He played with weaker players. Okay, never mind. How should Black now win that? Black to play and win. Not so easy. Black to play and win. Not the best answer, Ramakrishna. Not the best answer. F1 queen is not best answer. F1 queen, he will take it. Rook into queen. Not the best answer. You are giving lot of time to opponent. Point is, you are giving lot of time because rook pawn queen rook into you have to take king into pawn and then he will move the rook to somewhere c1, giving lot of checks. Uh, See, the simple move is king because this is a question of time. Now you have to control the f1 square. You need to control. So rook into pawn is a trap. This is what his calculation was because black cannot take it. It's a stalemate. But a king pawn ending. A pawn is waiting to queen. So rook into knight. Into knight. And after king into rook into. So this is easy, but I will tell you when you play queen, no, you are giving lot of time. This is fastest victory. Okay, now you queen, I take. Okay, I will take. It is a lengthy victory, lengthy process, and also some traps and tricks. Now king into, and now I come here. The point is, rook will come, idea rook check, and I will come back. There is some time. There is some time. Of course, this is also winning, but the fastest victory. Now this is a position. It looks like it is a draw because black king is far away, and white has a pass pawn, and the black pawn is near. It appears white will be able to draw because he will bring the knight and knight to e6 and knight to come in king side and try to exchange the pawn. But unfortunately, it is a miscalculation of topology. So white wins. King attacks. Now pawn push. Maybe you can do knight here also. Maybe you can do knight here also. That is also possible. But in this case also there is no knight check. So here he can start rolling. So knight king cannot come. This is going fast. So knight e6 is not working. The only move pawn push. Now pawn push is a mistake. Pawn push is a mistake. You will catch the pawn. So king, king, check. And now it is lost because you will just retest rook. This is the move you see. Now if you come here, he will fight it out. You come here, the position pawn push will come, and there is still some hope of draw because he will have after pawn push, then knight to a fate, and then pawn check. There is some hope of draw. So you cannot the playing passively. Then it is not correct. Not correct. Not correct. Now you come here or pawn b5. Suppose knight will come. So you push check. You can't come here. Knight check is there. So you take this is he will able to catch because I need to reach only c3 on pawn push, give a knight check, then come to d5, come to c3. So the fastest win is not this, but the simple. And pawn b5 is also mistake. Pawn b5 is also mistake. Yeah, this is also mistake. Push the same thing. No correct winning move is rook. This is the move was missing. The point is now you cannot cope up. One tempo extra. The same variation, two tempo extra. Two tempo. Okay, let's go. Some more practical games. The position is Alekhine versus Capablanca. How should white play now? The point is black rook is penetrating, he is invading the seventh rank and is prospect of active play. How should white play? White plays excellently. I will give you time. How should white play? Okay, I will make white small. Now black to play. Black will obviously go to seventh rank. So what will you do? In a game, middle game, end game especially, you will get critical moments. Critical moments. Now, you can defend the pawn by rook a b1, but then he will double. If you give time rook a b1, black will double on the file. And after that, there is no chance of white to win that. Suppose you play RA B1, the game is draw. Rook double. He has nothing more than that. But Alekine, initiate. Now he returns the pawn, the extra pawn, and his rook will now enter. Now you have to take it. You have to take it. But then forced to exchange. And now white is active. After this, you have to defend. I take the file and win. Open file. That is why when you play rook c1, the only move is to play double. What says e4 d4 pawn. No, this is the correct move. Black must play immediately double the rook. And now rook. But now the rook on 7th rank and black king is active. The pawn structure is weak. However, one extra pawn. So extra pawn. F3. Now if you play king f5, bad move. Check. Because the bishop is angry. You need to note the weak points. I told you, you should master the art of captures and checks. And vigilant about the weak points. So check, 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 picks up. So you can't do that. King cannot come, only move. Winning. Fixing the queen side. Now let him take the pawn. Let him take. Now material is equal, but a big initiative. You are forced. No choice. You can't give me the center pawn. Forced. Forced. Pawn into pawn. That is losing pawn check. And if you place pawn into pawn, first a d5 check. First a d5 check. So only move. Now winning. The tempo on h5. So it should win nothing. One check. That's all. No second check is there. Bishop is watching. Not king g4. It will checkmate it. Not king g4, but this should win. Repetition normally they do to gain time. It is a usual thing in endgame. Playing very slowly. No more good check. Now king to g2. King g2. He cannot take because after king f3 he will lose a piece. If he takes a pawn king f3 and you have to allow a rook check and bishop is lost. So it is all over. Check. Creating two pass pawns. Excellent initiative. See, when you sometimes you mishandle a win, you come home and analyze. And then you see, oh my God, I missed this active move. So you need to find active move and taking the initiative, not being greedy for material. In fact, if you think carefully, engine is doing nothing but taking the initiative at every available opportunity, playing actively. The engine is spotting every available opportunity playing actively. The pity is the young players, they follow the engine but they don't understand how it is winning. I was plus 2. I was plus 2.5. That doesn't bring the win. So this is lost. Two pass points. All over. Of course, bishop into bishop on rook check, but check and then finish. Two pawns and roll on. Another very interesting game. Now, if you look at the material balance, white is little ahead in material because queen for rook and bishop. 1 point. But black has an advanced pawn and his pieces are very ideally placed. For example, the two rooks are very well placed, and of course, and white position is also the king position also. He has to watch left 2 point, but it is well played, correctly drawn. For example, now white played no bishop c bishop. The idea blocking the pawn, and he should play now rook c2 draw. After rook c2, there is no win because black has to clear the back rank and he has to watch the a passer. So after rook c2 is a draw. But white thought if I play rook c2, then I am accepting mentally a draw. How about queen c2 and queen b3? Queen c2 and queen b3, then we are watching the f7 point. That is a mistake. Now he should have accepted the draw, rook c2. And he played the bad move queen c2 and idea queen b3. Bad move. After rook c2, bf5 is to and it is a draw. King will g2, no progress. Even if you play rook d2, no threat. But played more ambitious. Bad move. There is no time. You are playing rook e7. He has got rook f6. Now if rook e7, rook f6, then c2 is a threat. So no time. Rook into rook is bad now. It is too slow. Because queen will be just like a watchman. Two rooks will win easily. Two rooks in such positions, he can just have to gun the a pawn. Because and after come back and go to a king pawn end game later on. So the simple threat is rook double and take it. Want to divert. Now he finds a nice way. Pawn push. Very interesting. Pawn push. You cannot take that. Now everything is set. Now he will play. If you take it, queen is trapped. Queen trapped. And if you do not take, the next move you will play rook coming and then king coming. Everything is on his way. So the whole point is that a player to a certain degree you can push, you can stretch. But if you go beyond that, then you will be on the receiving end. Simple rook c2. It was should have been a draw. Who is this? Boris Vaisvasky is white and Petrosian is black. The position is roughly equal. I don't think there is a win. So here, how should black play? The position it is now white black to play. Right now, the pawn, the rook is not protected because after the pawn into pawn, then there is a discover check. So simple rook here. Rook is protected now. It should be rook d7. Then there is no problem. In my opinion, rook d7 is equal. But black thought that I will go away from that tactics. The tactics pawn into pawn check and where rook c8. Decisive mistake. Now white takes initiative and win the game. The point is now the rook is very active. Now there is no challenger in the fight. So after the move rook d7, it is equal. But after rook c8, it opens the road for white to take the initiative, pawn into pawn, and now knight. All of a sudden, white is threatening. Okay, so knight comes. Okay, I will not take it. Take it. Now knight. Bishop attack. Now you should not allow counterplay. The only obvious counterplay black wants to play pawn to a5. If a5 is allowed, once again it is a draw. So you have to stop it. Now the knight is well posted. The rook is watching. Weak pawn. This is also a weak pawn. And also a bad bishop. Doing no job. Now rook a5. Forced. Forced. There is nothing you can do. King cannot go b5. So the only and pawn is lost. Rook into e4 is a threat. One or two checks, that's all. No more check. No good check. Now he's coordinating white. No, I will tell you, there are certain grandmasters, they are very good in attack. For example, Leonard Stein, fantastic attacking ability. One of the greatest attacking player. Alexander Alakheim, great attacking player. Paul Keres, great attacking player. Spassky, great, not the best attacking player. Master of initiative. I would say Stein and Spassky. Of course, we should not forget Fischer. Fischer came to the when he was in his prime, he was the best in the world about initiative. And if you closely study the games of Magnus Carlsen, also master of initiative. At every given opportunity, they grab initiative. Sometimes the initiative is short initiative. I mean, it is for 2 3 moves. Sometimes the initiative is a longer initiative, permanent initiative. So you have to see even a short initiative can become permanent. So every given opportunity you should take initiative. Now the position one pawn up and it is winning. Winning. Oppose the knight on d on attack. No, because one rook gone, he cannot create. He will black will unable to create threats on the white. Finish. Okay, tempo. Winning. Rook ending is no winning. Over. Two extra pawns and the black king is cut off. White is playing with two extra pawns and black king is absolutely not in the game. Lost. So the main result is rook c8 allowed the initiative to white. Grandmaster Lubomir Lubovigi was a great player with initiative. He was also a fantastic player. If you have seen the game Lubovigi versus Wolf Anderson, Vaikanji 1975, what a game! He grabbed the initiative which was unthinkable. So now this question. I have discussed this in one of my early lectures, but I thought it is good to show the topic of initiative. Black to play, black is winning. Black to play, take the initiative. So pawn into pawn. Now the open file, if you go, there is no entry for the black rook on the c5. There is no entry for so a hasty rook a6 is not good enough. Rook hasty move. So black first makes the white rook passive, then enter. Instead of rook a6, intermediary rook b6 first. Intermediate. You can't play rook b2. Then rook b4 with the pawn. After rook b2, it is bad. Rook b4 and the pawn is lost. So your white is obliged to play a rook. Now he is penetrating in the eighth rank. I hope you find the difference. For example, take now direct rook here you does not promise advantage. This will not promise. I will play R. I will play maybe G4, and rook is ready to come to B. Nothing will happen. You won't get anything. King is fine. So he makes rook B6 forcing, and now the initiative is very strong. And believe me, if the material is less, the initiative become more powerful because the chances of counterplay is very little. Seventh rank. Clear seventh rank. Now, because you can't push B4, rook B2 will come. So, he's preparing to advance. Force rather, lost. Whatever you do, it is lost. It's a blunder. But even if it didn't blunder, the position is hopeless. After this, rook into and picking up with that pawn. 2 pawns. This position is white is Leko and black is Kramnik. Now the point is normally such positions are more hard because if there is extra pawn on the queen side, a pass pawn, the task is much more easy. But now the pawns are on the same side, so a technical difficulty will be there, and also the king is nearer, so it is not easy. However, Kramnik is a great player and he exploited the small advantage with dynamic approach. Very nice. You have to clear back rank, either at 6 or G6. So better to G6. H6 is very passive. Then F7.2 goes. Keeping making the king tight down. Waiting. Now I need to get time to bring the king. Attack. Threat of mate. You can see there has been changes in the pawn structure, piece position. That is what precisely white wants. So the right time to push. Well, there is no good square for the bishop. BB4 is very passive and not good, so he defends. And the winning plan is now in such situation a mating net. If white will push, then timely e6 will come. Suppose we have to come bishop to the square support, then e6 break will come. So preparing for that. Just place toying around, again check. So you need to work out. You can't give a discover check. So here, okay, one round over, whole round. Now you need to improve the piece. This is one. I think it is a Zugzwang. It is a Zugzwang. You cannot play bishop to f8. Discover check is coming, and bishop has no good square. Discover check. Now the bishop is doubly attacked, but you have got e7. This is the final point. After bishop and bishop, he is lost, and after rook into king to e3, you have no time to take bishop into pawn. After rook into check, king e3, whole rook down. So here this check lost. Now this position is Karpov Kasparov. White is Kasparov. Black Karpov. Extra piece on the rook ending has come. So black has the initiative because he's outside pass pawn. That is point number one. Point number two, the white pawns are not advanced. So he will not be able to create a pass pawn. Point number three, the white king is far behind. Black is king is active and outside pass pawn. So this is clear plus. One should not give material. The reason is if you give the material, you sacrifice the rook and start advancing the pawns. You need 4-5 move. You can't give material. You have to defend. Idea rook e7 is coming sometime. Okay, if you push the pawn, not correct. If you play pawn a6, rook check, king move, and you will able to play rook back again. So only safe way to. The Taras said rook behind the pass. Rook belongs behind the pass. Passive rook, active rook. Just push. Now the plan is if black is not reacting in time, white king will slip and it's a draw. If white can manage, this is a draw. But he will never get time. The reason is now if you play KB1, rook check is coming and seventh rank. The black king is already active. And if he takes two pawns, then a king pawn, rook pawn ending is winning. Even king pawn ending is winning. So you don't have time. So you push the pawn. Check. King pawn ending is lost. Lost. We need not even calculate. King pawn ending is lost. Okay. Takes. King f3, king coming, sweeping faster. So place rook into pawn. Now this is also lost because black can later on the g3 pawn will fall, then 2-1. You don't have time for something like rook to a7. Cut off and the g3 pawn will fall. So extra pawn. Okay, even now it is lost because there is important thing. You should not in end game do not hurry. Now f5. Suppose you play mechanically rook into pawn. It is not a wise decision because apart from you will allow the king. If white needs to come quickly to the queening area and he will divert the rook. So perfectly played and wins. This is very Zugzwang. The king is cut off. Zugzwang. No check. Rook h3 take does not help. Rook and king f3. Okay. So this small initiative is also enough. Here, Karpov Kasparov. This is one of my favorite questions. When I saw this first time, I thought that he has blundered. Not really. Great game. For example, here white has a good knight and black has a bad bishop. But white has no entry. White king has no entry on the queen side, nor on the king side. But he finds a way out. It is necessary for black to play patiently. Now, this he should not play patiently. But he became hurried, pawn into pawn, hoping that he will take pawn into pawn, and again the same situation. The situation looks now when you capture an end game, a player because he is threatening this. So a mechanical response in the original. This is the plan and which of this. But what a move! And white grabs the initiative. The point is now pawn into pawn will allow a road for the king. White king. White king. Now pawn into pawn is bad. Check. Forced. You cannot leave that pawn. And white king will penetrate. H5, G, H6, G7. So a great move. One of the fantastic move in chess endgame history. This fantastic. S3 will lose. S3 will lose. Knight F4. Then king will come and pick up. Necessary. Now knight F4 is threat again. Lost. Grabbing the initiative in endgame stage. It is a rare example. Now Capablanca white and Alekhine black. Actually, it's a pity. When the match took place in 1927, Capablanca was a stronger player. Actually, because Alekhine was good in attack, but Capablanca was good. He was all rounder. He was just an all rounder, and he should have won the match. But he was indisciplined. For example, he was playing bridge till late night. When we are playing World Championship, you go home and rest. He was playing cards till late night because he thought he is omnipotent, next to God. That was bad. Indisciplined behavior. So naturally that affected the his moves, quality of the moves in the match, and he thought it is in control. But when Alekhine won 3 games, it was out of his control. The rule was 6 games victory. The first to win 6 games wins the match. So already the match was out of his control. However, by that time he realized it is bad. Anyway, Capablanca won this game. You can see the white has got one extra pawn and good control of center. White queen is in the good diagonal. So what should be the plan? How you should take the initiative? How to take the initiative? This is only one plan. There is only one plan that you have to create e4 d5. Yes, Rath e4 e4 d5 break. You have to get a break. You can't play e4 d5. So save now. Now he is giving a threat of d5. Now come back. White is all set to play e4 and d5. Prophylactic moves and perfectly calculated. White's initiative is really good. The blockade will not work. Knight will come to c4 or okay. This is we exchanging. Well, whatever you will do, it is lost. Next move, knight d2 is coming. So if you play queen d6, knight queen c4, and knight here also is. So here, no. Here you place queen. Okay. Now the king will come. You are now the knight is controlling. You see, all the squares are control, 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 control. All this is control. The king has no entry. So white king is coming very fast, very fast, and the knight is controlling you. You cannot attack that pawn also. So that if you play king to d3, bishop c5 will give attack. So in advance, and notice this is losing a piece. King coming to e7 or e5, knight falls. So only move. King once again what a fortress. Point is, now if you play, weakness will be created. So giving some hope. That is why not creating a weakness. Because the idea is G4 check and push him away. On attack, unfortunately, black cannot defend that because king f6 loses a piece. And it is an easy way. Now king pawn. If you play king to e5, it's a king pawn ending. King pawn ending. So once again a war. All the control. All this is control. All this is control. Winning. Okay, you have to give. Okay, you don't have to give that. Still, he can win also by playing normal move like king g2 or king e2. He decided to give it quickly and we'll check. You cannot go king g2. Then it is like a king pawn push and all over. Only move. Pick up another pawn. Lost. The G passer will decide. Very beautifully handled. The initiative of Capablanca was far excellent. Yet another beautiful game about initiative. Victor Korsunay wrote a fantastic book on rook and pawn endgame. Really marvelous. I mean, it is very good recommended for advanced level players, intermediate and advanced level to learn a lot. Many IMs can learn a lot from that also. How to play this endgame? White is in a winning position, and opponent is none other than a great card. Material equal, but how should White take the initiative? Can somebody tell me how White should take initiative? How should White take initiative here? King d3. No, no. No. The initiative is your king should enter. Your king says you should play kb4, give the pawn and enter. That is the and black cannot do anything about it because the squares are guarded. Now he is guarding the squares. He is guarding the square. The king cannot enter. So the correct move, king. You have to accept there is no choice. No choice. No king. Now not taking the pawn. Taking the pawn, he will have huddle after kings. Enter. Enter. And then now the pawn break is come. It is not a question of material now. Now the passer has been created quickly. Excellent initiative. Forced. Forced. Now not not trying to push the pawn. You have to slow him down. You must slow him down. The idea now the king is good and the pawn is good because and the rook is ready to enter by the g5 and rook is also good to watch the pawn. So he is not allowing the pawn and rook is ready to enter because their mating net or king will come like mating net, mate threat, pawn check and mate. Not pawn push. This is the mate threat. So if he goes king to d8, then he will pick up the pawn. This is the one. This is anyway winning. Rook into pawn and only one pawn. Then you have to tackle with the one without any king. Will this rook check again back? This is losing. And he plays king, check, and now winning. Check, check, win. No pawn push. Left six pawn falls. Check. Sweep everything. Beautifully played. Grand initiative. This is a game I will skip the moves because initiative I will reach the end game, desired end game. Because white is preparing to play, white is preparing to come rook f4 and rook h4. This is the plan. You want to enter and you want to make a pawn break. So these are the idea. So rook f4. Rook, stop. Now not now force block. Now if you queen it is bad, it's a draw. If you queen it is only a draw. He will take a sacrifice. White will also queen and collect the draw. He played correct move. Black played correct. Now you still cannot queen. Now he will pick up the piece. Check. Okay, check. So white has managed to push, but black has three connected pawns. In return for the piece, black has three connected pawns. And if you keep giving check, the king will slip away. Now c3 is guarded, so the king will slip by f5 and win the game. We cannot keep giving checks. So come back, king. Now the king will try to enter. So white is having his own pass pawn. He has to play. How long he will pass you? So come. Now the king want to. If you push the pawn, he will block. So the plan of white black is to come here. Stop that. No king entry. There is no king entry. And if you push the pawn, then they will be paralyzed. They will be paralyzed because the bishop is watching. It is not easy to come. So pawn entry. Push, push. Now gives a tactical threat to seal. After that, queen. So now it is a fight between five pass pawns versus rook. But white's only consolation, solace, that his king is near. The point is king. Now the plan is there is no win because the king and rook is this is not winning. This is also not winning. So the only move that rook into pawn is not possible now. The only winning plan, the king must cross over. Then only he can win. Not allowing. See, every little opportunity black must avail. He is not allowing. But there is no other plan. White cannot win. Black cannot win with these three pass pawns. There is a solid blockade is coming with the king. So white sacrifices a pawn to penetrate. There is not unfortunately he gives check. and then sacrifices. Then the king will cross out. There is no other plan. Beautifully initiative. And now this is king is paralyzed for this. It is a fight between two. He can't keep giving checks. Lost. Okay, you can give rook check also, same thing. Wins. After taking, now if you take rook into pawn, pawn f2 will win. Pawn f2 will win the game. So only move. Rook into bishop next. The idea after he comes, it will lead to rook into bishop. And a king pawn ending on the way. He'll collect the rook and he cannot do anything. Fantastically played. Initiative and the action of black was par excellence. Of course, somewhere in the analysis, white has missed certain opportunities, but it was really great in part of his the execution. This is a game from Botvinnik versus Maestro. If you look at only one pawn extra for white, but white has got lot of advantage. Active king and more well placed pieces. So here it is black to play, black played attacking the pawn. That is not a source of worry. King. Now if he takes this pawn, now this creates a pass pawn. No, you should not take unnecessary, unworthy pawns. This would be bad. This would be bad. But for example, now he can come here. Mate threat. No, not mate threat. The bishop is watching. So maybe just you come here. You should win. The king enters. So he takes other pawn. Now check. The idea he wants to reach the rook seventh rank with a tempo. So check. And if you come here, again check. Again check. Check. With the idea that after you come here, a mating pattern. He wants to play tempo and put the bishop. And the king will go to f6. So he is avoiding this. So he plays bishop, not pin. So black has defended and he has a pass pawn. But should win. Black pawns are not moving. A4 is not coming. The rook ending is lost. 3-1. 3-1. One more. Botvinnik Tal. Obviously here black has advantage. Black rook is active and the knight is also doing a good job. So black position is better. The knight is not allowing a check, controlling the bishop. So Tal played here. Okay. When you push, make sure that the f5 pawn cannot be attacked easily. So at the moment he is unable to do. The rook ending is lost. Bishop into knight, he will win easily. So not king coming to b5. It's a good move. Now the pawn is protected and king will slip. Cannot play bishop c4 now. Cannot take that because After bishop into pawn, rook into pawn check with the big initiative. Now there is no check, and one of the plan also to enter this way. Comes. If you keep giving checks, no, the king will come. Suppose rook check king, another rook check king, like that he can enter. Second check, the king f7 will come. So he comes, discover check, simplify. It is actually looks easy, but the execution part is not so easy. And Tal went on to win the game. So how many game I have got left? I have got only one more game. Maybe I'll show that because I have got some more games ready, but I must end. Another 10 minutes is there. Here the position is black to play. So obviously he will take the center pawn. Obviously he will take center pawn. What should white do? Not easy. How white should play? How should white continue? Not correct. Not correct. A4 is wrong. Simple. You need to slow down. You have to take initiative to slow down. The king is coming out. The king is coming out. So, cut off. Very well played. Laskar was great endgame player. He was great in defense and great in endgame. Now the point is, now white pawns will move forward. They are connected. King is cut off. So it is inch by inch. Inch by, like a tortoise. Inch by inch. Inch by inch. Wow. You need to cut off. You need to slow down black coming. But for example, you give chance. For example, here. If you play here, if you don't play, you play hurriedly F4. Then there is good chance will not be able to win that game. Now let the pawn come here. Then I will attack. Let the pawn come here. Then I will attack. Not very wise to play. Okay. Of course, that also might win, but might win. Whereas this is definite win. This is definite. Okay, not rook h5 check. It's a bad move. If you give rook check, king will come out. Now, if you give, there is survival chances. Suppose you come. Now, this is good chance he will survive. And now rook into pawn, he will give a check. Now pawn push. Now he will survive. The pawn is defendable like king now. There is some hope because the pass pawn is there and it is blocked. So always play the safe card. Simple. Perfect. All right. So I wanted to show more interesting in games positions. Maybe I can show you one more game. One more game I can show you. Okay, maybe I show these games because I don't want to rush, hurry up. So I will explain you with the ideas, and we will have next session tomorrow morning at 9:30. So it will be on middle game, initiative in the middle game, where children like to see action, attack, thrill instead of exploitation of technical initiative in the end game. So tomorrow we will see positions with the middle game initiative, opening to middle game, and then how to take the initiative. So thank you very much. See you tomorrow 9:30. Take care and bye. See you. Thank you. Thank you for your compliment.